Financial planning work is often too complex to be rolled up into high-level status dashboards. You really need to dive under the hood to see what's going on with the specific situation and perform your analysis at a high level. One of the great things about Airtable is that it makes it very seamless to dive between that 30,000 foot view and the specific client level. And today, let's take a look at doing that with a couple dashboards that I built for a tax projection process. Now, as always, these dashboards are just one example of literally infinite ways that you could build your systems in Airtable. The goal, as always, is to be as flexible as possible and to give you something as close as possible to your ideal way of working so that you are frictionless in your ability to use the systems. Now, with that said, let's take a look at this overview dashboard first. Here we can see basically which clients need tax projections in any given quarter via these checkboxes on the left, as well as the status for each quarter's projection. So right now we're here towards the end of March of 2025, so we're getting close to needing to do Q1 projections. We can see just quickly that if we open this and edit any of the information, for example, if I check that Autumn and Leia now need a Q1 tax projection, and we give the system a moment, this NA status will update via automation to tell us that it's not started instead, which means that it's now on our list, right? So we're not going to let that fall through the cracks. Now, if you had a full client book, this page could get pretty busy, so we can do a couple things to make it more legible. First, let's go ahead and filter this so the only thing we're seeing is clients who have a tax projection needed this quarter, right? So now we just have that simple list. The next thing we could do if we are maybe reviewing across the firm is sort by status. So we are seeing first the clients who we haven't started their projection, then the ones who we have various statuses of in progress here, right? So for two, we have the data request has been sent. One, we've already sent the no payment communications to the end client. Now, that's all well and good, but this isn't the best place to actually perform the tax projection work. So to do that, let's take a look at the deep dive dashboard, which we can access either via the left-hand panel or via this button that I've dropped in the top right. This is a great time to point out that buttons can be dropped anywhere in an Airtable dashboard to link to other dashboards, link to client records, any record in the system really, or even to outside URLs. For example, if you wanted a button on each client to link to a Google Drive for them, so you could actually start on the work itself. So if I hit the button, I can now see that we're looking at basically one specific client situation. We're no longer crowded out by everything else, and we can really focus without being distracted. Here we have the same checkboxes up at the top, the same statuses. We have added a couple of fields though, where we can now look at the payment amount recommended in any given quarter, and we can take notes for those quarters so we can have kind of a running list of what we've done for this client in any given quarter. If I go over to Henry and Claire, we can see, for example, I've dropped notes in here that say that they were safe harbor based on the prior year and their expected pay stub withholding. So we're not needing any payments right now. Now, we can take a look now at all of the different options that I've pre-selected for the status of a given tax projection. Now, these can be obviously customized to whatever your firm needs to run this system. For example, if you had one advisor performing the tax projection and another reviewing before it went out for client comms, you could set those as needs review statuses in the system. You could even set automations so that the appropriate people are alerted when it's their step to do something in the process. With all of that, say we're done with Henry and Claire's situation, we can jump back over to the overview to see who else still needs some work. And so that's today's demo. As always, this can be built in any way you want it to. So if you're curious about building out a tax projection process or any other process for your firm, feel free to reach out.